I'm Ted Barnes, and this is CHCH Hamilton, Hamilton's #1 news station that isn't on the radio. Hamilton's #1 source for traffic, weather, sports, and of course, local news. Our top story tonight, a raccoon has fallen into the local well again. And despite firemen's efforts to remove this raccoon from the well, okay, well, it appears someone's extremely eager to talk about things like clouds. So, yes, I can hear you, Karen. I'm just going to finish reporting the news, so perhaps you could exercise patience for once.
For once, I am always patient with the news.
Yes, but never with me. All right, so it appears we're just going to skip right over the news and skip right into weather with Her Majesty, Karen Elliott. Your Highness.
Nice. And thanks, Ted, for taking a break from loving the sound of your own voice for just a second there. Okay, so we're going to check in with the weather, and Hamiltonians, get ready for a chilly cold front coming in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Could have swore that cold front rolled in yesterday, more specifically, last night.
Actually, no, yesterday was warm all day, even last night. It was hot, you might say, but some people couldn't feel that warmth, no matter how hard the air and the sun tried. But it was there, Hamilton.
Was it? Was it really? Because, I personally felt that it was like really icy cold last night, like out of nowhere, completely unforecastable icy cold, when the wind kept changing, even though you and your forecast promised that the wind would never change. You really promised that, didn't you, Kat?
Ted, the winds were not changing at all, actually, and the skies were extremely clear, but some people in Hamilton need to realize how the sky is around and pay attention to the sky and how hard it tries to be clear.
Yeah, you see, because I was outside last night and I saw that sky and it was foggy at best, all right? There were dark clouds and patches everywhere, all right? And I saw for myself, it was not even remotely clear, all right? You told me, Hamilton, that the sky would be clear forever even.
Oh, no cloud coverage in Hamilton ever again, Ted. That's realistic. So, you can't handle a couple clouds. What happens if thunder and lightning come someday?
You know what? There's nothing wrong with a little thunder and lightning when you see it coming. But when the forecast is wrong or it's delivered to you by, I don't know, a liar who clearly has some deep-rooted issues, which I'm thinking about it's probably daddy-related. Well,
okay, I'm Stu Cohen. I think it's time for the sports report. Unless, of course, the weather has forgotten that the sports even exist again.
Fuck, here we go again. All right.
You know what, Stu? The weather knows that sports is there, but Hamilton just doesn't care as much about sports anymore.
Yeah, you hear that? You hear that? Hamilton's more interested in local news now, all right? You got that, Stu?
Oh, okay, yeah, like raccoon down the well news. Okay, listen up, buddy, all right? The weather and the sports used to be broadcast back to back every night, prime time. And you know what? Hamilton loved it.
Okay, yes, I did love when sports and weather did things back to back, but, the times are changing and local news is more important, but sports, I do remember when the sports would help the weather become a teammate, and the sweatiest sports were around, and even when it rained and the games were rained out, it didn't make a difference if it was a water sport.
Wait, what?
Whatever. You know what? Sports knows that wherever it goes, weather's always gonna follow, and it's always gonna be hot.
That's enough out of you, buddy, all right? You got it some basketballs, because I swear to God, I've heard about all the red cards and the penalties and the fouls that you committed in your time, all right? And you should have long ago been shipped away and bought by JC.
All right. That's enough out of both of you. Hamilton cares about both of your reports. And yes, sports, was around a lot, but now local news is important because local news makes Hamilton feel safe and tells them when they're pretty and makes them feel loved.
And that's all the local news wants to do for Hamilton.
Hamilton knows. And sports, we know that sports has the ability to make us feel strong and youthful and dirty.
Yeah.
But Hamilton's getting old older now, and its knees hurt sometimes. and it's, you know, it's not as important. Sports are not as important, and it knows that local news will always be there for Hamilton, and there will always be a bike stolen from McMaster campus, or a huge rodent just loose in the streets. It's hurt.
Hamilton would love that.
Me too.
Okay, but what about sports, guys, all right? Because what sports wants is a weather report that's hot, you know? With a heat wave that just never ends. So hot that sports can't even be played, you know? And that's what we're willing to do for you, Karen Hamilton.
Stu, Hamilton can't handle another drought. You know that.
I do know that, and it's a damn shame.
All right. You know what? This may sound crazy, okay? And maybe it was some of the well water I was drinking earlier, right? There's a lot of raccoon pee in there. But what if the next time the steelworkers go on strike, maybe there could, you know, be a quick pickup soccer game?
Could maybe some wet mud in there?
If it rains enough the night before.
Could the wind blow real hard? And could there be more than one soccer ball in play at once?
Of course.
Okay. Well, weather and sports and news reported all at once in broadcast piece.
You got it, lady.
All right, and then once we're naked and we're covered in mud, what we'll do is we'll
Ah, shit, they cut the broadcast again.
That did it. That did it.
Oopsie doodle.
Damn it. We've really got to start having these conversations in the dressing room
Yeah,
before
no,
we
that'd
go
make
on
a
the
lot more
air.
sense.
No
That'd be better.
microphones.
That'd just be better.
No, this is probably why radio is beating us.